Right, we're going to do an ignition change. This bike's already had part of it done, but I'll walk you through the basic steps. First step, undo your clocks, put they off the top of the triple tree. Undo the handlebars, let them hang forward, keep them out of the way. Undo the two locking bolts for the triple tree, remove the head bolt for it, and obviously at that point she'll come with your old ignition on it. Okay. Cut the wires short, or well, just give yourself some length from this because you can make use of this. Okay, even though it's the old one. This one has already had an ignition change, so it had normal bolts, but when they come from the factory they have a break-off bolt, so you have no head on it. There's multiple ways of doing it. My preference is to use an angle grinder, and you slip just above this top surface here, so you take the head off, take both heads off, the old one will come away. You're left with two studs, a pair of mole grips or vice grips or whatever else you would like to call it. You can generally grab them and then twist them off, in which case you'll be left with two very nice holes to work with. Okay, so this from here is going to be quite easy. We're going to drop two bolts into it. And then I've already prepped the old one where I left some of the wire in place, and I'll show you how that's all going to go together. Make sure this is reasonably tight. You can use a bit of Loctite and the thread lock in there if you wish, just to make sure that it doesn't inadvertently fall apart. So obviously there's our new one. Put it back on the triple tree. Make sure that these studs fit in underneath here. That's what holds your lights in place. And you can either do it now or later. I tend to do it now. Push the wires through. You just need to get them just a little bit there. Just gets them out of the way. Right. So obviously at this point, try and get it to be even. Make sure you come down past the rubber so you're actually on the forks. On this you can do the reverse of how you took it off, tighten it back up again. You'll be happy with that. What I'm going to do is lean the handlebars over, because I'm going to show you the electric side of it, since that's where everybody seems to be battling. Right, so this is a much older YBR, so it's got a much different plug to what you will have seen before, that little 3-pin. This happens to have the 4 pins on it. Doesn't really matter. Keep the existing 3-pin in there. And like I said, this came from our old ignition, so all I've done is cut the 4 wires short. What we are going to do is actually make use of these two. The red and the brown. The red comes from your battery, goes through the switch, and it goes back out on brown. It doesn't matter whether you buy from eBay or Amazon or wherever, that connection's in place. On the new ignition, these two black wires are in the wrong place to start with, and secondly, aren't on a separate circuit like they should be. So we are not actually going to use those from the actual ignition. So right, let me grab the ignition wire out. I can see where it is. Okay, there she comes. Okay, so that's completely wrong to what we're needing. So what I'm going to do, like say, let's chop them off. Never mind, that's my ignition, that's going to my bike. I'm going to join those, and then this one I'm going to bridge together. Okay. I'm not going to need these two black wires here. You can actually cut them right out the way so you don't even see them. They were a safety in the ignition circuit, but they're not needed. Right, so that's what we're going to do. So, multiple ways of doing this. You can either ferrule it, you can, actually too long, this one. Use a shock block, any sort of, I've seen people twist the wiring on it, enough to make it work. Don't forget to tape it, keep it out the way so that it doesn't oxidize over, and then you don't have an ignition again. Okay, we need that to just... Right, so now I'm happy. Okay. I'm using a crimper and ferrules. These are called inline ferrules. You crush them from both sides, and they can sit literally in line on the wires. Okay, dead easy. Take a wire. Sometimes does that. Here we open it. Okay. Slide in. Crimp it properly. I'm going to do is crimp it a second time. So you have a double crimp on it. I'm going to do that again over here. The red wire. And then we're just going to join colour for colour. Brown to brown. And then red to red. I prefer to use a ferrule, but like I say, there's multiple methods to this. Right, let's get it where I can work with it. And then the last step. With our two black wires, I'm going to use the same process. They're a bit thinner, so I might need to play with them a little bit more, but same process. And that is how an ignition's done. So, on the ignition side, the black wires were cut off. On the bike side, they were left in play and joined together. I've used the existing plug in there. Rather hard to see, but it means if it comes to another change. Somebody else can, if they do happen to find an old ignition that fits it, they can just put it straight on.